So my work, my company has evolved from being able to tell great stories with brands and to be able to deploy that through digital marketing strategies that, quite frankly, are designed to activate communities and audiences. Stories, the tip of the spear towards a greater conversation and movement, right? So what do we do with that now that we've told that story? And that's kind of the exciting part that, we're doing a lot of that work with brand storytelling, and it's amazing to reflect back on where it started to where it is now. Brand storytelling, people get it when you tell them, most do. Whereas back then it's, well, we're a brand. What do we have in the business and storytelling?
I love that. And when I read the notes and on your background, Chase, I'm like, this is going to be a fun episode, because I think we have so much to learn from other disciplines. And I love your backstory coming from independent film and using the skills that you developed in that to focus on brand building is such an amazing thing to talk about. And I have an opportunity to talk with a lot of up and coming analysts, and they always ask me, how should I hone my higher education path to focus on being the greatest analyst? Like, what math and stats? I'm like, yeah, all that's important, but go broad, because everything you learn is going to apply. In fact, I tell them one of my favorite hires at a previous company was I hired a gal whose background was in forensic investigation, criminal investigation, as a forensic investigator. And she turned out to be one of the best web analysts that I ever hired. Like, the skills that she brought from that forensic analysis background were amazing. And I think storytelling, brand building in a field that can be really boring, like math and data to most people, we have such an opportunity to view it from a brand building technique, strategy, from a storytelling strategy, and create more entertainment to help educate. It's such a cool opportunity, and that's why I'm super excited that you're joining us for this episode.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm mystified by the work that you guys do. That is not, where I come from, but that is what I've always been intrigued by, right? And this is what's great about this multidisciplinary approach, is kind of stretching muscles on both sides of the brain, where great storytelling is phenomenal, but you need the data and the analytics to back it up and continue to refine that message and optimize that message. So when it comes together the right way, it's a beautiful marriage.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that we've internally talked a lot about, is that oftentimes you're very heavy on one side or another. Again, if we're just all data and the stats and all these calculations we did, we lose our audience. It's not that our audience isn't incredibly smart. These are very, intelligent business people, but they don't spend all day doing math. And when we take it to that level, it gets, very hard to communicate. We also have people in this industry, I'm sure you see it in the brand and marketing space as well, that are very heavy on, we tell really great stories, but there's no substance underneath it. It's very hollow. So how do we take like the substance and the ability to wrap a really meaningful, memorable story around it? That to me is the ideal. You have the best of both worlds, where you have substance, which oftentimes gets lost because of the minutia of the details, and you have story, which brings that to life. When those two, what did you call it, a beautiful marriage, when that happens, it's amazing, and something that in our industry, I think we have a long way to go to mature, to think about ourselves as storytellers.